Hello everybody, I am Baltmatrix, and today we are taking a look at Transformers Studio Series JOLT. Now, this figure was purchased for me by my friend Nemesis Slime over at Twitter, and I obviously paid him back when he shipped it to me. JOLT is a deluxe class Transformer, and it came to me in vehicle mode, but it is packaged in robot mode. The overall aesthetic is, well, it's very Bayverse, let's put it that way. I would love to comment on the head sculpt. However, the head sculpt is just kind of a mishmash of angles. There's a little bit of silver on the very tip of the mouth and front of the face. There is blue, I think, in those eyes. It's really hard to see. This figure feels so small. It's just odd. Giving you a 360-degree view of the figure, you can see that it is kibble central. Pretty much the entire top of the vehicle mode is on his backpack and upper shoulders. And yes, the entire roof of the vehicle mode is clear plastic painted. It doesn't feel great. And let me tell you, this figure's posability, even though it has joints, sucks. Head is on a ball joint, but it can look way up, but it can't look down that much, and side to side is a little bit limited thanks to all the junk that's around his collar. Arms are on ball joints, which you can see right there, but again, you are limited because of the junk and the kibble, or the vehicle mode kibble that's on his arms. Swivel at the upper arm, bend at the elbow is over 90 degrees. There is no hand articulation except a bend for the transformation. Now, is there torso articulation? Yes, there is. But kibble gets in the way. These gigantic side panels that are the entire sides of the car mode are just sitting there. And it would have been really nice if they had like a little extra, I don't know, hinge or something to flail out a little bit, so you can actually pose the dang thing. Legs are on ball joints again. There is a swivel down at the shin. I think this is the first figure I've ever seen with a shin swivel. Bend at the knee is generous for the transformation. Foot can rock forward and back. There is no side-to-side movement except for that swivel mentioned before. So you can pull off some poses, but when you do, you have a tendency to just untransform the figure a bit. The only real pose I've been able to get off or get him into is just where he's like got his legs spread and he's dynamically pointing. Yeah, that's about it. Now, our dynamic pointer comes with two accessories, and that is these Extendo Sparky Bits. Extendo Sparky Bits are the official name of JOLT's extensions. No, not really. Anyway, they can plug into his hands, and to do that, you have to reach onto the one claw and unpeg it. Now, thankfully, or unthankfully, you can take those claws and then peg them to the sides, but the connection is not the best. And then plug in the giant spiky figgies for, I don't know, 80s television channel changing action? I don't know, it's stupid. I'm really trying to get him into a decent pose here, but it's just not working. These stupid little extendo thingies, every time I touch them, they have a tendency to either move the arm, move the legs, or they themselves move to the side. It looks like he's trying to go or use the world's worst pair of chopsticks. I just don't get it. I mean, yes, it's kind of his thing in the movie with the electromagnetic thing and attaching the corpse of Jetfire onto Prime, but what we have here just doesn't really work all that well. I don't get it. I don't get what the point of this figure is. I don't get what the point of this character is, other than another toy that sucks. As a deluxe class Studio Series figure, he feels tiny. Now, he is rather dwarfed by Soundwave over here, and that's Satellite Soundwave, but he's roughly the same height as Shatter. Shatter is just a smidge taller at the head. So there is that. But how does it stand up next to, say, a Earthrise or Kingdom figure? It's rather dwarfed. Oh, wait a minute. Let's try a deluxe class Cyberverse figure. How about that? Yeah. He's even shorter than freaking Snarl. What the heck? Now, I don't want to be all negative here. I really do like the blue. I think the blue coloring of the figure is absolutely fantastic. And the silver kind of pops against it. But it's not a bright silver. It's a muted silver. If it was a bright, shiny silver, I think that would work a lot better. The overall color of the figure is good. It's fine. But it feels smaller than it needs to be, if that makes any sense. Because when we get into the transformation, there's a lot going on here with the transformation. So said transformation starts with grabbing the figure and popping the backpack off, and the roof of the vehicle mode is just held into place by these two clips. Very difficult to get them pegged in, but once you do, they do have a tendency to stay. What doesn't stay is the torso. It just kind of flips and flops all around, and the only thing keeping it from moving is just this little bit of plastic here. So if those ever got snapped off or anything, it would be a total and complete disaster. All right, so we've got the roof off. So let's go ahead and move a light and grab the roof front windscreen specifically, flip that out, and then we could come to the top up here and fold these two bits, the bonnet parts together, aka the hood, and they will snap together, and then fold them back and snap them together. Just got to work on getting these hinges lined up, and then just get that up out of the way and leave it there for right now, because essentially what's going to happen here is the entire figure is going to fold up like this. The legs are going to collapse up into the body. The arms are going to fold up over the head to form the trunk, or the do you call it a trunk in Europe? I can't remember what it's called in Europe. Anyway, and then the arms will fold up into this cavity in his back, and then this whole section will flip over like this. So this is a rough artist's interpretation. So let's go ahead and get into some of the details. Come to the side panels and flip out the rear wheels. And we're done. Then take the legs and fold the toes all the way up into the back of the shins, and then collapse the legs up like that. And then we turn the entire panel section around 180 degrees, and it will peg into the back of the foot. There's a little peg right there. To transform the shoulders, you actually have to keep the roof of the vehicle mode up and out of the way. Otherwise, this isn't going to work. So take the back part of the shoulder and fold it towards the head so that the brake light is there, and then take the outside shoulder part and flip it around, and it will snap underneath like that. So we'll do the same thing on the other side. Turn that around and snap that into place. Get the entire roof of the vehicle mode out of the way, and then you can fold these shoulders up, and they will snap together very loosely, I might add. Once the rear bumper or boot, that's what it's called, is together, hold it together, grab one of the arms, and that will fold up, and then you fold the hand in, and that will snap in like that. So fold the hand in, fold the elbow up inside, and then just work on getting everything lined up and pegged in together. And it should work itself out as long as you're not fumbling like an idiot on a camera, like me. All right, so we got the back of the vehicle mode done. Now we just take the front of the vehicle mode, push it up, flip these panels around, and yeah, I know, harder. It looks easy, but it's more of a pain in the arse than anything else. And then you have to get the panels lined up so that the insides peg into the back of the JOLT, and then the top of the panels peg into the roof section. And then once you have all of that done, you can then drop the front bumper over the toes. And here we have Jolt, the Chevy Volt. And did you know that the Volt isn't even made anymore? Chevy discontinued it years ago, like several years ago. And I'm having a terrible time trying to find out where the center of this turntable is. I like the vehicle mode. I legitimately like the vehicle mode. It looks good. It's really striking. The color is nice. The silver pop, all the silver coloring pops. But getting it into this mode is such a pain in the tailpipe. Everything needs to be in perfect spots. Otherwise, it won't stay together. It will pop apart. And Jolt itself is just an ugly figure. He just is. I'm not a fan. I'm really not a fan. I'm glad I own the figure, but I'm just not a fan. Okay, now enough complaining. Let's go ahead and add the weapons to the side for storage. Now that'll probably make it look better, right? Sure, what could go wrong? Alright. Okay. Well, that's some terrible aftermarket kibble. I mean, it doesn't even have RGB. It doesn't even glow or anything. No, it's still not a great figure. Overall, I don't particularly care for Jolt. Now, if you like this figure, great. I'm happy for you. I'm glad you like it. It's not my cup of tea. It feels too small, it's too expensive, it's way too ugly in robot mode, and somehow it looks worse than the original design. So I don't know how they managed to pull that off. So folks, let me know what you think of this figure down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Nemesis Slime for picking this figure up for me, even though I don't particularly care for it. As always, I have been Baltmatrix, and I'll catch you all next time.